Good afternoon. All right, so again, I like to make these videos. They're necessitated by the fact that I meet people in my daily life routines, work, just going anywhere, and I wear stuff like this. I wear ultra MAGA hats, and 99% of the time it's all positive reinforcements from people who agree that won't wear these shirts. And again, with politics, it's a touchy subject. People get evasive, they get defensive immediately as soon as they see that you're approaching them with a conversation or a dialogue. I like to try to be as gentle, kid's glove as I can with people that I meet, because I don't want to ruin an interaction or a possible friendship with somebody solely based on the idea that they are a little bit led astray. Because most of these people that I meet that hate Trump, that hate the idea of voting for Trump or refuse to ever vote for Trump, I would say that they're misled, low informed, they're smart in certain subjects, and I've heard some people say some really dumb shit, but I also know them to be as much more intelligent in other subjects than myself, because they're studied in it, they practice it, it's a craft that they've mastered. What I'm trying to master is the ability to sway, persuasion. And in order to do that, you have to be polite, you have to listen, you have to have big ears, small mouth while they're talking. You gotta bite your tongue. You might hear 3 or 4 things in a row that they say that you know for a fact, you can prove it, it's a lie. But if you do not allow the person to finish speaking and you cut them off constantly, it immediately turns into two 2-year-olds pulling each other's hair over a toy. That being said, the reason I've been telling people, and the reason my goal in life is to run and to eventually be a congressman in this district that I live in, is because I understand that most people that have strong political beliefs, they closet it, they keep it, they hide it from people, because they just don't want the discomfort of dialogue. People just don't want to be disagreeable, they want to be agreeable. That's kind of a female thing, but as a man, I don't mind being disagreeable, but you have to do it with class. You have to do it properly, or it will not be accepted by the other person you're communicating with. I understand this, but I have the ability to stand up on. I used to do music on stage. It wasn't thousands of people, but I've had instances where there were hundreds of people listening to me up on stage. I had a microphone in my hand. Again, it's a different category, but it also kind of makes sense if you think about it. I used to be a rapper, so it's essentially talking. It's essentially, I was really good at battle rapping, freestyling, coming up with stuff off the top of my head. Hold on, cat wants to go outside. So being a battle rapper, you have to be on your toes. You have to be able to think quick. So again, that you can transfer that over to a political career. That's what my hopes and my goals are in this state that I've moved to. I love this state. The governor's great. I see a movement happening. I see an opportunity, a window of opportunity opening. So that's why I'm pushing towards communicating to everybody that I'm going to be running for Congress, because you have to plant the seed somewhere. I'm not doing it tomorrow, but I'm doing my due diligence. I'm going to go to the meetings, going to meet people, and I'm going to introduce myself. And as I consider myself a pretty well-versed political speaker, I feel like my ability and my convictions will convince people who do have the funding that you think you need in order to run for a political office. I will be able to gather and garner reinforcements from people who say, listen, I agree with you. However, I lack the inability to communicate it like you are. I have a business, or I have family members. I don't want to be thrust up front, but I do have the finances, and I've heard you speak. I agree with you on these topics. I love your conviction, the fact that you're willing to do this and you're standing up on stage and you have no qualms with debating or ending up on the news media or the internet being insulted. That doesn't put any fear in me. My life journey has put me in a place where those things do not strike any fear in me whatsoever. It even to the basic fundamental idea of getting in a fist fight. Those things have all happened to me. At my age, I know how to avoid certain horrible situations, but I also know how to address certain horrible situations, as we all learn to do as adults. However, the difference between me and most people is that I wish to put myself in a position where I can speak for other people. I want to protect children. I want to protect the future of my grandchildren, not just me personally. I meet a lot of people who all they care about is themselves. If it doesn't affect me today, I don't care. Subjects like the trans library readings where they have little kids being brought into a library to have some guy that's literally on record being a pedophile dressed as a woman finding an ability to get themselves surrounded by children to tell weird stories. Again, this is just planting bad seeds, infertile seeds, things that will not. If you teach kids about transvestites, teach them that they might be gay, what you're doing is you're promoting the lack of procreation. In order to make a baby, you need a man and a woman. So for us to be teaching children otherwise, or putting those thoughts in their head, is an inversion. I use the word inversion a lot. I will continue using the word inversion because a lot of the things that we're seeing, the people who disagree with me don't see it because it's not mainstream media news. They do not push these issues because it's like pulling their pants down and showing what they're really doing. And when I say they, it's a globalist agenda to basically demonize straight white guys in America because this country is one of the last countries on this planet that we truly do have freedoms. They are, it's a fleeting thing right now. We're losing it second by second. That's the reason I feel like I need to stand up and speak for other people. I'm aggressive. I'm well knowledged. I research and I can speak very well, and I'm not scared of a debate. I'm not scared of that confrontational conversation. Most people are, and they don't know how to handle it. They immediately go into flames and they start screaming. I've seen it so many times. But my goal, and I will attain this goal, is to become the congressman in my district here in Southern Florida. Nothing's going to get in my way, and I'm ready to do this. But as I said, there's steps and stages to getting to your goal. I'm making those smaller steps now as I move forward. And like I said, I'm looking at a 5-year window. So you can track me if you want, but I'm not giving up on this goal. This is something I'm holding dear to my heart. I'm announcing it, therefore making it even more of something I can't turn my back on my word. So therefore you will see me continuing to do what I'm doing right now, and that's trying to propel myself into the conversation of local politics here in Southern Florida. I have a lot of things that I could say right now, but I'm just kind of baselining and giving you an idea of where I'm coming from. I love this country, I love the state, but more importantly, I love my family, I love my grandchildren, I love people who are close to me, but I also love children in general. I don't want children to be confused at an age where they're so susceptible to confusion and to be misled. And we're adults. So when you see people accepting a transvestite reading to kids in a school, what are we doing here? Why is this happening and why don't you care? Most of the time, they just don't know. So if you confront somebody who hates Trump and tell them about transvestite library story time, they go, that's not happening. And you say, can I show you? Can I prove? No, it's just not happening. That attitude has got to stop. That selfish millennial attitude where the boomers have been paying for you, you've been living off other people your whole life, therefore it's all about you, your needs. You're forgetting that there's children who are alive right now who are growing up and we're leaving them what for a future? You're worried about the climate, you think everything, that shit, you have no control over that, people. Get over yourself. You cannot pay the climate to go away. It is what it is. It goes in cycles. It's been going for millions of years. You're not going to be able to pay your way out of it in 2024 if you elect the right Democrat who says the right things, because you're still falling for the climate. Oh, the world's ending because of acid rain. The world's ending because of cooling. Now it's global warming. They recycle the same fears, but they change the names, but it's the same thing they do. It's basically to put you in fear, to allow you to be subservient to whatever they say. You must allow us to lead you. I'm of different thinking. I want to be part of the people who I live with. So therefore, I'm somebody can walk up to me in the supermarket if I'm a congressman, and I'm not going to be worried about what the confrontation is going to be, because they know they will know who I am, and they'll know I'm fiery and that I represent what I represent, and I'm not going to back down. But I'm also polite and willing to have that dialogue. I don't see that on the left, even on the right. I don't see it sometimes. But needless to say, I have a goal. I will attain it. Watch me.